I built a business for 365 days and I don't think my life will ever be the same. So I will share my story of how I got from point A to point B, and at the end I'll tell you all the lessons that I've learned that you can take onto yourself when you start your own business. So I could say that the first time that I really started any kind of freelancing was December of 2022. At this time, as you can imagine, I had no idea what the frick I was doing at all. Zero. I didn't start out doing anything in particular. There was a few of these freelancing subreddits that I would frequent quite often. For hire, done for dirt cheap, slave labor. Yeah, I know. And I would just scroll onto there and see whatever job that I could think that I could maybe have a chance of doing, whether I had experience in it or not. And that was my first go at it. In the first month I made like 80, and then the month after I made like 200, and then the month after that I made like 300. Which I know isn't a lot, but keep in mind two things. That A, it was from online work, and secondly, it was in a third world country. And those go way farther in places like this than somewhere in like the US or Canada. But then I got the bright idea that I want to create YouTube videos, but I don't know how to edit that much. So what if I pivot to do all my freelancing work as editing? Which then led me to start on March of 2023 to start freelancing work. Which makes, as of recording this video, like 335 days maybe or so, but I kind of rounded up. As you can see, this video is kind of inspired by someone else's. So for these 3 months, I was doing fairly more of the same, but instead of looking for any kind of random jobs on Reddit, I was looking for editing work on Reddit. And I can't lie, the first 3 months of it, I did fairly alright, until the fateful day happened that ruined basically all of my work. After freelancing for about 3 months, on March, April, May, June, on June, a big problem happened. I decided to create my first digital product, which is the lot pack that you see in the description, because I just wanted to like try things out, see what works, see the experience of it, how can I market it, just trying to pick up some new abilities. And I realized that I had all the contacts of the people that I previously DM'd for other freelancing jobs, so I was like, why not just send an offer to each of them? Maybe I'll get some conversions. And so I did that, and a few hours later I was banned. Yeah, feels bad, man. Why? Well, the reason, according to Reddit, was I was commercial spamming. I was pretty much screwed. My only source of leads and work was completely wiped out, and any account I tried to make after that was banned in literally a couple of hours. So even if I had tried to go that route, I would have to convince new people every 2 hours that yeah, I'm so trustworthy, even though my account has literally been there for a couple of hours. Yeah, that didn't work much. So when that happened, I was basically left for dead. For around 3 months, I was completely stumbling, just trying to different schemes on Reddit to try to get my account back or make another account without it being detected and then banned. Until then, I decided maybe, just maybe, that is a sign that I should transition to something else, another platform. Somewhere else that I could be recognized and made as a figure. So I thought YouTube, well, I'm already publishing videos on there, but I have no presence yet. Instagram, that's not really a place for editing. TikTok, no, because it shows only people that are local in your country, and that is a problem. Because I will get paid in the local currency, which doesn't work exactly for my situation. So I was like, oh, Twitter. That's an interesting option. It's way easier to publish and create content on there than videos on YouTube, because this takes a lot of freaking time. So that's what I did. On September of last year, I started freelancing on Twitter, making posts, sending DMs, freelancing on there and doing general work, and slowly, bit by bit, I got more and more hang of it. How to advertise myself, how to gain new followers, how to push myself just a bit more forward. And I'll be fair, there have been a couple of very inconsistent months, because that's kind of the lesson. It's very inconsistent at the start, but it gets better the more and more time goes on. And it made me really recognize that this has been a blessing in disguise, being banned off Reddit. Because Reddit is not exactly a place that you can get popular on. You can't really have much social credibility. But with Twitter, you can post your work on Twitter. Client results, testimonials, what other people had success with, what you've learned on your own journey. And the more and more you do that, firstly, the more leads you get and the more clients you get, and usually higher paying ones. And can get a lot of feedback from mainly two sources in that process. Firstly, from how the algorithm itself recommends your videos, how many engagements you get, how many impressions, how many views. And secondly, you can get that from the people themselves. What they say about your posts, how often they like them, if they repost them. So it tells you what people value in what you create and what they don't. And thirdly, it taught me that you can create a lot with very few resources. And I mean that especially in my living situation and where I am. I mean, take this room, for example. This is a literal shoebox. My bed is right behind me. If I go back like this, my freaking leg hits the frame. And also situations about how to upload your work actually, because I don't know if you noticed, but we're like 100 out of 138 in internet speed, and the upload speed is literally snail-like. It takes 5-6 hours to upload 1 gigabyte of footage. So you learn to use programs like Handbrake to compress down the file size to make it actually work. Fourthly, that business is half marketing and half skills, which was a very painful lesson for me because I was very horrible at marketing and I likely still somewhat am, just a bit better. You can be the greatest in the world, but if no one knows about you, then you don't exist. And you can have a horrible service, but if it's marketed really well, you'll still get work. And 5 is to always have some cash flow. And what that means that in some businesses like this one, video editing tends to be kind of reoccurring. You get videos made every month, every week, every couple of days. So you're maintaining a long-term relationship with someone that you're working with. And what that does for you is that you're not so desperate to just grab at anyone so you can have some money coming in. So you don't come off as desperate when you reach out. You're not as stressed about everything. So always have someone that you're working with, even if they're not that well paying. They still provide a lot of value to you just by being there. And last but definitely not least, do not sell yourself for cheap. In the book 100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozy that I made like a 10 freaking summaries by now, it says that you should always charge the highest price you can without cracking a smile. And that lesson rings true for pretty much all of eternity. It helps both you and the client, just making sure that the value they get is always higher than the price that you're charging. And that is gonna be the ending to our little time together. But I'll make sure to make more videos, create more work, and post out more shorts so you don't forget what I look like. And with that, as always, if you need an editor, then my link and website is in the description. If you need a free LUT pack, yes, it's free, then that's also in the description. And with that, do not forget to smile because it will make your day a lot better. And you'll feel better too. Bye.